LETTER the second of Life in Mexico. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Life in Mexico by Francis Calderon de la Barca. Letter the second. Havana Aristocracy. Lucia de la Mirmor. La Rossi and Montresor. Brig of War. Countess de V A. Dinner at H's. Southerly winds. View from the balcony. Quinta of Count V A. San Cristobal. Mass at San Felipe. Erard harp. Dinner at General M O's. A dessert at Havana. Queen of Spain's birthday. Dinner at the Intendencia. La Pantanille. Theatre of Tecon. Railroad. Cure by lightning. Shops. Ball at the Countess F A's. Last visit. Souvenirs. 15th. We expected hospitality and a good reception, but certainly all our expectations have been surpassed, and the last few days have been spent in such a round of festivity that not a moment has been left for writing. At home we have held a levee to all that is most distinguished in Havana. Counts, marquesses, and generals with stars and crosses have poured in and poured out ever since our arrival. I do not pretend to form any judgment of Havana. We have seen it too much en beau. Last evening we found time to go to the theatre. The opera was Lucia de la Mirmor. The prima donna, La Rossi, has a voice of much sweetness, sings correctly and with taste, is graceful in her movements, but sadly deficient in strength. Still she suits the character represented, and comes exactly up to my idea of poor Lucy, devoted and broken-hearted, physically and morally weak. Though the story is altered and the interest weakened, how graceful the music is, how lovely and full of melody. The orchestra is good, and composed of blacks and whites, like the notes of a piano, mingled in harmonious confusion. The theatre is remarkably pretty and airy, and the pit struck us as being particularly clean and respectable. All the seats are red leather armchairs, and all occupied by well-dressed people. At the end of the first act we went round to the Countess F A's box, to return a visit which she had made me in the morning. We found her extremely agreeable, and full of intelligence, also with a very decided air of fashion. She was dressed in fawn-coloured satin, with large pearls. At the end of the second act, Lucia was taken ill, her last aria missed out, and her monument driven on the stage without further ceremony. Montresor, the Ravenswood of the piece, came in, sung, and stabbed himself with immense enthusiasm. It is a pity that his voice is deserting him, while his taste and feeling remain. The house has altogether a French look. The boxes are private, that is, the property of individuals, but are not shut in, which in this climate would be suffocating. We passed out through a long file of soldiers. The sudden transition from Yankee land to this military Spanish negro land is dreamy. The General de la Marina, Anglis, admiral of the station, called some days ago and informed us that there is a brig of war destined to convey us to Vera Cruz. Amongst the ladies who have called on me, I find none more charming than the Countess de V A. Her voice is agreeable, her manners cordial and easy, her expression beautiful from goodness, with animated eyes and fine teeth, her dress quiet and rich. She is universally beloved here. I received from her, nearly every morning, a bouquet of the loveliest flowers from her quinta, roses, carnations, heliotrope, etc. The dinner at H A's to-day was a perfect feast. I sat between the Count de F A and the Count de S V, a millionaire. Everything was served in French white and gold porcelain, which looks particularly cool and pretty in this climate. The Count de P R was there and his brother, the latter a gentlemanly and intelligent man, with a great taste for music, and whose daughter is a first-rate singer and a charming person. After dinner we rose, according to custom, and went into an adjoining room while they arranged the dessert, consisting of every imaginable and unimaginable sweetmeat, with fruit, ices, etc. The fruits I have not yet learned to like. They are certainly wonderful and delicious productions of nature, but to eat eggs and custards and butter of the trees seems unnatural. The heat to day is terrible, with a suffocating south wind blowing, and were the houses not built as they are, would be unbearable. The dinner is served in the gallery, which is spacious and cool. After dinner, Señor Don P o H.A. rose, and addressing C n, pronounced a poetical impromptu, commemorating the late victory of Espartero, and congratulating C n on his mission to the Mexican Republic. We then adjourned to the balcony, where the air was delightful, a cool evening breeze having suddenly sprung up. A large ship, full sail, and various barks, passed the view from the balcony Morro. There were negroes with bare legs walking on the wall, carrying parcels, etc. Volantes passing by with their black-eyed occupants, in full dress, short sleeves and flowers in their hair, well-dressed, martial-looking Spanish soldiers marching by, and making tolerably free remarks on the ladies in the volantes. We had a visit from the Capitan General. In the evening we went out to see the Countess de V a at her party quinta, a short way out of town, and walked in the garden by moonlight, amongst flowers and fountains. The little count is already one of the chamberlains to the Queen, and a diamond key has been sent him by Queen Christina, in token of her approbation of his father's services. These country retreats are delightful, after the narrow streets and impure air of the city. We saw there a good engraving of Queen Victoria, with the Duchess of Sutherland and Lady Normanby. 17th. Yesterday we went to see the procession of the patron saint, San Cristobal, from the balconies of the Intendencia. It is a fine, spacious building, and together with the Captain General's palace, stands in the Plaza de Armas, which was crowded with negroes and negresses, all dressed in white, with white muslin and blonde mantillas, framing and showing off their dusky physiognomies. Two regiments, with excellent bands of music, conducted the procession, composed of monks and priests. San Cristobal, a large figure with thick gold legs, surrounded by gold angels with gold wings, was carried by to the music of "Suoni la tromba," to which were adapted the words of a hymn in praise of liberty. We attended mass in the morning in the church of San Felipe, and entered, preceded, according to custom, by a little negro footman carrying a piece of carpet. There were few people in church, but the grouping was picturesque. The black faces of the negresses, with their white mantillas and white satin shoes; the black silk dresses and black lace mantillas of the Havana ladies, with their white faces and black eyes, and little liveried negroes standing behind them; the officers, music, and long-bearded priests, all were very effective. Found on my return an excellent Erard harp sent me by the Marquesa de A s, a pretty woman, and female Croesus. A splendid entertainment was given us to day by General M o. His house is large and cool. The dinner, as usual, in the gallery, and although there were 97 guests, and as many negroes in waiting, the heat was not oppressive. The jewels of the ladies were superb, especially the diamonds of the M family, sprays, necklaces, earrings, really beautiful. The Marquesa de A wore a set of emeralds the size of small eggs. She had a pretty, graceful-looking daughter with her, with beautiful eyes. Even the men were well sprinkled with diamonds and rubies. The dessert, from variety and quantity, was a real curiosity. Immense vases and candelabras of alabaster were placed at different distances on the table, and hundreds of porcelain dishes were filled with sweetmeats and fruits, sweetmeats of every description, from the little meringue called "mouthful for Queen," to the blancmanger made of suprême de volaille and milk. After dinner our health was drunk, and another poetical address pronounced. The evening concluded with music and the Havana country dances. 20th. Yesterday, being the Queen of Spain's birthday, a dinner was